Hello everyone and welcome to the Good Old Gamer. So we finally got a proper UE5 game out in the wild, and that is the Remnant II. I know a lot of you guys in my Discord are actually interested in this game, so I'm like, all right, I definitely have to go ahead and check this one out. So today we're going to be taking a look at the high end. We're going to be using the 7800 X3D paired with an RTX 4090. 64 gigabytes of Kingston Fury M die at 6400. So we're just gonna see what the top of the line PC can do in this monstrous game. Now, in the future, we're gonna be testing out lower end configurations. We're going to be looking at the i3 12100 paired with an RTX 3060, as well as the 12700KF with an RTX 3080 when parts come in to complete those systems. So hopefully within the next few days we can check that out. But for right now, we're going to start with the high-end stuff, and, well, we'll see how it goes. I'm very, very curious. I've not touched the game at all, so we're going to be going into this completely fresh. As you guys can see here, no character created yet. So, yeah, let's just see how the game runs. All right, there we go. We're in the game. I have no idea what the settings are. I haven't touched it yet, so let's go take a look. System. Options. All right, that's really annoying. Sorry if the camera shakes on me, but we're going to be using this. Windowed full screen. This is 1080p. Motion blur, always off. VSync, off. Frame rate, unlocked. Brightness, blah, blah, blah. Let's do actual full screen. Let's try 4K. No upscaling. No. Upscaling makes your games look like crap. Might be useful on super low-end cards, but on a 4090, no. So we got ultra, blah, 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 blah. All right, let's just see maxed out. So that's all ultra 4K. Let's see how this goes. Yeah, let's keep these settings. All right, so look at that. That's 45 FPS. That's a bit jittery too. All right, so that... I don't know if you guys can see it in the recording, but like there's temporal ghosting. You see that on the character? That is really, 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 really terrible. This is why we don't use DLSS. So I have no idea what's actually going on with that. So, all right, let's go ahead and get back into the menu. Full screen, blah, blah, blah. Motion blur is off. Frame rate unlocked. Upscaler, none. Not sure what's going on there. All right. Well, let's go ahead and just drop this down to high. See what that does. And back. Frame rate's up to 55. We still have that temporal ghosting. I have no idea what's going on. Hopefully that's showing up for you guys. Ugh. Okay, so this is unplayable as it stands. All right, well, let me see if I can figure out a way to get rid of that. Oh, it might be part of the anti-aliasing. Is there a way to disable anti-aliasing? Can't turn off post-processing. All right, what can we turn any of these off? Just completely off. Nope. Nope. View distance. Well, I mean, whatever. Okay, that is really, really, really terrible, guys. There's almost no options in here. And yeah, well, let's just see what low looks like. Yeah, that's still going on. I wonder if it's using some sort of upscale technique, even though it's not supposed to be. I'm gonna go ahead and turn on DLSS just to see if that actually makes things better. All right, let's Taylor. I want crappy. DLAA. That means it just does the anti-aliasing, right? Maybe that would be the way to go. All right, well, hopefully that'll fix this. Okay, so that's way better. Okay, so using the internal anti-aliasing, the in-game anti-aliasing is, well, useless. Completely useless. Okay, so you have to use FSR or XESS or DLSS. At least it offers all three, but you cannot use the Unreal Engine anti-aliasing. The ghosting was abysmal. This is still noticeably bad, but it's not as bad as I suppose it could be. So, all right, this is 4K low. 4K low, and there's nothing going on. And we have like 80 FPS. Yeah, that's not great. So let's try like actual settings here real quick. Options. So stupid. I am not a big fan of that. Let's go back to high. 50 FPS. All right. Well, that's not looking too good. And there's literally nothing here like visually that looks any better than any game that's come out in like the last 10 years. So not entirely sure what the deal with that is. Okay, so to me this would be unplayable. So we're going to have to try so crappy because we're using the upscaler. I don't like using DLSS at all. Let's just try going down to 1440p. All right, 100 FPS. All right, well that's at least like getting there. Of course, my capture device is only coming through at 60, but I can tell that it's just much more responsive. All right, let's play the game a little bit. All right, so this game has definitely taken a while to get anywhere. So I did want to show you guys why I don't really like DLSS. We're at 1440p, right? And we're at 120-ish FPS. All right, I'm going to go ahead and jump on in. We're going to go back to 4K. And then I'm going to turn this on. I believe quality mode drops it down to 1440p. All right. So as you guys can see, we're actually getting lower FPS, even though we're using DLSS at the same resolution. Image quality wise, it doesn't really look any better to me. And I have a 42-inch OLED right here. So if I can't see it, I mean, it's not helping. But the fact that we have to use DLSS anyway, I don't know. It's one of those, like, maybe you do leave it on for the HUD elements. Those probably look a little better, but... Oh, man. That's, thus far, my first impression of a UE5 game is not spectacular. Alright, finally, we get to shoot some things. Okay, so that was pretty short-lived. I'm really hoping we get to some like outdoor, larger environments. Something that can really showcase like UE5 and all of its glory, because thus far, like, the textures look really high res. Obviously, we're running at high instead of ultra, which means there's no point in ultra, because yeah, the texture detail is very high, but okay. I'm really not seeing what makes this engine any different than anything else at this point. So I'm really hoping that we can see something fairly quickly, because it's pretty late. I had a lot of stuff going on, and couldn't quite get to this as fast as I wanted to. But I really do want to get out my impressions here. Obviously, this is a very GPU-heavy game. Why that is, I couldn't tell you. Maybe it's the engine. But if these are like the visuals you're going to get, and you need an RTX 4090 for 1440p, that's not good, boys. That's not good. a lot of game developers are going to have to really tweak this engine because visually I would say that this is highly unacceptable for the amount of performance necessary. Most games will run at 4K at higher FPS than this on a 4090. Jeez. So we're indoors. Hopefully, are we going outside? Let me go outside. On some like big expansive environments to really showcase what this thing can do. Alright, so like this looks kind of cool, but there's nothing here that I haven't seen before. I mean, maybe I'll throw up some like footage of Killzone 3 or something from the PlayStation 3 era. You know, it's like, yeah, this looks okay, but I can go that far back, and it's like they had environments that looked really cool like this too. All right. Okay, so here we go. We're in this like little town area thing, and we're under 100 FPS or right around 100 FPS. Okay, let's see something off in the distance. I mean, I don't know, guys. Does this really look any better to you? Looks just like every other game, post-apocalyptic game, pretty much since, you know, the 8th gen consoles to me. Trying to see far away. Okay, so like that's kind of cool. You know, you got the city in the backdrop. Performance didn't really tank, which is, that's actually pretty cool. That's something we could definitely say is a little bit new, is the performance didn't get any worse with, you know, a lot more geometry on screen. So that is actually kind of neat. So most games, when you see like the large landscape with all those buildings and stuff back there that are actually being rendered, not just like an image, usually you'd have a huge performance hit on your GPU. But yeah, so we're just getting crap performance all the time instead of occasionally. So that, I don't know, not really the best trade-off in my opinion, but I guess to each their own, right? Well, alrighty, guys, there we go. We got our first real look at Unreal Engine 5. The performance is obviously very, very heavy. The visuals are really nothing special. This game looks fine. It looks like every other game that's come out over the past probably 5 or 6 years. I guess that's really the biggest disappointment here is it's not that next generational leap that would warrant a 4090 being run at 1440p to get acceptable frame rate. Now, everybody will disagree on that. For me, acceptable frame rate's at least around 100 for a shooting game. 120, 144 is pretty much where you want to be. And for the 4090, you really want games around that level at 4K native without things like ray tracing and other things. Now, granted, the game might have ray tracing and other stuff going on that we can't toggle off. That could be the case. And if that is the case, that's really not good. So you guys will probably let me know in the comment section down below. I haven't done a lot of research on the game. I just saw the guys talking about it in Discord, and I was like, you know what? I played the first one a little bit, and it was kind of cool. So I'll go ahead and check this one out. We took a quick look at it. I'm really kind of interested how the lower end systems like an RTX 3060 will perform, considering what the 4090 is doing. And to be honest with you, if this doesn't run 1080p native, medium at the very least, on an RTX 3060, I don't know what to tell you guys. This game's just not going to sell very well if that's going to be the new performance tier. You have to strip out everything that is really hampering down that GPU performance to get it up. This needs to be 120 FPS, 4K, high ultra. Then, you know, like a 3060, that needs to be 1080p high. And either that or the visuals just need to be really next level, which I would say they're not here. Textures look really nice. It was really cool, you know, when all the buildings came into view and all that extra geometry, and we did not see a performance dip for that. It's kind of funny. We did see the AM dip. That was a massive stutter. There's our AM dip, guys. There it was. In action in this one. That does happen, by the way. It happens on the 5800X 3D as well. But it was only the one, right? So it's one of those things, like, a lot of people be like, oh, it's a big deal. Well, kind of. It's annoying because it will happen. And the longer you play, like, obviously it'll be a pretty regular thing. But I'm just kind of happy that I'm able to show that to you guys. But yeah, overall, I'm pretty underwhelmed is the word. Now, this is an RTX 4090. The game still looks good. It plays pretty good. Oh, the other big thing that really stood out was the ghosting without any sort of upscaling. Completely unplayable. So you have to use an upscaling tech. That's not good either. Yeah, they just have way too many effects and something going on here that's just really killing the performance. So, alrighty guys, I know the game is probably going to be a lot of fun. It's a real shame that you can't strip more things off to go ahead and get better performance on lower-end graphics cards. Now, if you want good performance, you could always go out and get an RTX 4090. Affiliate links are down below. Seems a bit much for this particular game, but if you and your buddies, this is going to be your thing. Honestly, for 1440p, this is kind of the card you're going to need, and there's really nothing else at this level, so there you go. That's a real shame, and anybody who's on 4K, I don't know, try SLI. I don't know what to tell you. Buy 2 of them and see if you can do that, because there's nothing that can run this game properly at 4K. That's it's a real shame that that's the case, but that's where we're at. Hopefully the game gets some updates, and they allow you to turn whatever's killing the performance off. If you're interested in the system, the test system that I used, there are links to all of the stuff down below. If you do want to pick any of them up, it does help support the channel if you use those and buy. So, all right, we will try more, I guess you could say, mid-range, more mainstream level hardware on this game here in the not too distant future, and see if like an RTX 3080 and 3060 can even bother with running this game at least close to a native resolution. I mean, a 3080, in my opinion, should be able to do 1440p native 60 FPS with this visual fidelity, but I don't know if that's going to be possible. So I'm kind of interested. If you are interested, once again, smash that like button. Please subscribe. Please share with friends. All that good stuff. So thank you guys. That'll do it for me here today, and I will catch you guys in the next video.